Hey guys, Luca here with another Gaslands TV video, and today I'm going to be using these tofu containers and a few other items like straws and let's see, what do I have here? I have like bottle caps from old glue things, medicine caps, or I don't know what this is, caps from toothbrushes and stuff like that. You know, we could use these to decorate the roof of these things. Maybe some tires that you don't use anymore from other Hot Wheels or whatever. So let's start. First off, if you want, you can cut out the base here, but let's say we want to keep the base and just decorate some of the terrain before priming it. I'm going to use a drill to make a hole on top of this toothbrush cap here. Maybe I should have something to hold it, and maybe it shouldn't be my fingers. Do not attempt that at home. Use something else to hold it, like something like this while you're drilling, so that it's safer. And make a hole there, and we got ourselves a little chimney or something we could put on the roof over here. And I'm gonna make another hole on top of this cap here, just so that maybe we could make some smoke come out of it later on. Now for straws, I'm gonna just cut the little piece here, and what you want to do is maybe a little diagonal, something like this. Makes it look a little bit more like a chimney or a vent or something to let the fumes out, and that looks pretty cool. So we're gonna just add some glue and add it to the top here, and that's gonna make another chimney for this industrial type of terrain we're gonna do. And for the straws, I'm gonna make some holes here, and let's see, I'm probably gonna make it this wide. So we're gonna cut in a diagonal so that we could insert one straw into another, and that makes for a pretty cool looking pipe. And I'm just gonna measure, make some holes with my hobby knife, and those holes aren't perfect, but that's okay. We're gonna put the straws in here. That looks pretty cool. You could go all the way down if you want, make it more stable so it hits the table. And I'm gonna use some of this Gorilla white glue. I love this glue, especially when you're doing like ooze or stuff coming out of a pipe or anything that you need to puff up and look like liquid. This glue is awesome for that. You've seen me use it in a bunch of videos before, but you know, you could just put some on the pipe like this, and maybe have it drip down, let it do its thing. And if you want, you could even like cut a toothpick where you want something to look like something leaking down. It's already pointy at the bottom, which is cool, so I'll just put that there. And on the side here, we're gonna make a little door. Now you could be obviously more precise than this in making a door, but these are doors that were made by Gaslands people, and those are always, you know, hooligans who are using handmade tools to destroy things. And I have these shish kebab sticks here that I'm going to use to decorate the side of the door. So I'm going to just cut that, make some scary looking spikes here on the side of each door, something like that. And with some popsicle sticks, make like a little makeshift door here, put some glue and let that dry. And you know, there's a bunch of junk over here, and instead of throwing it on, just pick it up and throw it on top of the glue, or throw it on top of your model before spray painting it. It's gonna do some dirt and stuff like that on top of the roof. So that looks okay. I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna start on this thing right here. So this is obviously a cookie tray. There's probably some cookies in there, not sure which kind, maybe Oreos or something like that, some tea cookies, I have no idea. but I'm just gonna cut off these edges here. I don't like them too much. I'm gonna do again that little pipe trick with the straws here. Maybe go from one corner to another like this, and again I'm gonna use the white glue from Gorilla Glue because I really like the effect that it gives. And I got this thing, which is a serum. If you want to, from ETYMOLOGIE. This is a friend of mine, a friend of my wife's, who does amazing stuff, and this is also like skincare product and stuff like that. So if you want to get your significant other something good for the skin, check out that website. Maybe I'll put a link in the description of the video, but I'm going to use this just to make a little hole here because I like the I think I cut my glove there, but I like this as a roof topper, as a chimney, so I'm going to use it. Hopefully my wife doesn't get mad at me for doing so. The bottle was empty in my defense, so I'm pretty sure it was garbage, unless she refills it. I'm not sure. Anyways, I'll let you know in the comments if I got a beating or not for destroying one of her bottles. Anyways, moving on. This is a primed version of that previous build, and I'm going to be using some of these decals on it later on. Show you how to use these water slides if you're interested. Maybe go with this one here, Amoco. I don't know how to say it. Amoco. There's a bunch of them here, but I like this blue and red logo. So now that I know which logo I'm going to use, I know which colors to use. So I'm going to go with some blue here and start painting nice and slowly some of these ridges here. Now obviously I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to do one on each side, and maybe do some little highlights here of different areas of this build in blue, just to match the logo. So I'm just going to cover up this cap here, and maybe do the bottom of this cap here. Just put a bit of blue everywhere. Match that logo. Once I put it on, it's going to look pretty cool. And then we're going to start with the red. And I think I'm going to put a red stripe next to each blue stripe. And it's really hard to do these little things, especially on camera. So I'm trying to show you what I'm doing without getting too close, and then all you see is my hair, my head. So that's why I'm kind of leaving it there, trying to keep it in focus while I'm painting. But you get the point. Just put some blue, and well, the colors that match the logo that you chose, if you are gonna put a logo. And for the pipe here, we're gonna use some silver, and I'm gonna use it on the satellite dish here as well, on the top of this chimney. And obviously the pipe, so we're gonna make that silver, give it a bit of a shine, a bit more metallic. And we're gonna go with some of this brown to dirty it up a little bit. I'm gonna put it in the red that I have here. It's probably gonna try to give me like a rust color. So if you mix like brown and red, you get this pretty cool rust looking color. And I think I'm going to use that to dry brush. So what you want to do is not have too much paint on your brush. So get some of it off your brush, but make sure there is some still on the brush, and just flick from the edges to dirty up your terrain. You could even test it underneath, make sure that, you know, that's a pretty cool color. And just go to town on your model, flicking it on the edges, turning your brush 90 degrees to do straighter lines. Lightly just flicking. I'm really not pushing hard here. And I'm just gonna flick on the sides here. I usually fast forward this part. I show it in fast forward, But I got some comments, some people saying, you know, you could show us the whole method, the whole way of doing it. So I'm just gonna show most of it here. The thing with doing that is that, what do you say, you know, during these parts in the video? What do you talk about? Like, now I'm just tapping the brush here. Do I just say what I'm doing? Or like, once I said it, you kind of got it, right? I'm not gonna keep saying flick the brush, turn it sideways, and here I'm flicking the brush again. Like, what do you say? You know what I mean? Maybe I just not say anything, let the music play. Or talk about that ETYMOLOGIE brand of skincare, which is kind of supporting my friend while I talk about it on my channel. Give her a bit of exposure, you know. Maybe put the website on the screen, so you know where to go get some gift ideas for your significant other. And it's amazing cream though, seriously, it's really good stuff. And gonna use some black here inside some of the silver. Let's see what that does. I've never done this before. Let's put some black in silver. Maybe it's gonna create some kind of like brushed metal. It's gonna make some black, but shiny black, in case you don't have any brushed metal, which is this right here. So I'm trying to mimic this with some black and silver. Let's see if that worked. And I'm basically gonna, again, wipe off the excess paint. You don't want to put a bunch of paint on your terrain. And I'm just gonna maybe make some lines here, again on the edges. And then turning the brush, make some harder lines. I'm not gonna put this everywhere, but I'll just dirty it up a little bit. Maybe it's an old factory. And could obviously dirty up your pipe up here. Whoops. See how much paint I put there? That's an accident, but it's okay. Maybe tap it down with your glove while it's fresh, and it's not gonna show too much. And I think I'm going to fast forward this part a little bit. It's the same thing I basically did with the brown. I'm just doing it a little bit with the black, not everywhere, but you know, on the antenna, and just dirtying it up a little bit, putting it on the pipes, and it's not bad. It looks pretty cool. The black and silver mix, if you want to try it out, that works. And we could always sponge as well with maybe some of this coffee brown or chocolate brown. Get another layer of detail onto this thing with some brown sponge spots of like dirt, maybe flicking off of tires of cars passing by and throwing it on top of the piece of terrain here. Maybe some up high. You could even like just put a dab and then like move the brush down a little bit so it looks like it's leaking something, or there was dirt and then it rained and it came down, and so you could use the sponge to flick down a little bit as you're sponging, just to give it those little marks of you know, dripping down. You could even use your finger if you're wearing gloves and stuff. You don't mind getting dirty. But yeah, these little spots on with a sponge is pretty cool. You could put it a bit everywhere. And then we're gonna use some orange. Again, these are all really simple techniques. And what I'm gonna do with the orange is put it where things would meet as rust. So maybe here, you know, some water pools there. At the end of these pipes here, which is really horrible. I should have used my drill maybe to make a hole there or something, but that's fine. And let's put some rest on the antenna here and just push it and dab it with your finger. Gives it a nice texture. Your fingerprint is going to give a nice texture. Even the gloves have some kind of texture, so You could go with that. Just put some orange and tap it. And if you want to go into like fine detailing like this, just use a little brush and brush some strokes of orange. And now it's time for my favorite, hint sarcastic, part is these water slides, which I am unlucky with. Seriously unlucky with them. They break on me for some reason. Maybe they're like, look at this one. I don't know why, but it got like cut in the water. Like, why? I'm just gonna use my spoon method here, which I've became accustomed to and enjoy, because it's very easy with water slides to use the spoon, especially if your thing is broken or cut or whatever, like you saw mine was. And you know, we're gonna use some of this decorative filler. This is pretty cool stuff. Some sand, and you would be surprised how much terrain pieces I've done. I mean, if you've been following me for a while, how much terrain pieces I've done with the same amount of stuff that I have. I haven't spent any money yet in like, I think 2023, and I try to save what I can. Here I'm putting the glue, and then I'm putting some of this sand on top of it, and then whatever's not sticking, I put it back in the jar. And you could use like the end of a paintbrush to just move the glue into like little corners and wherever basically you want the sand to be. That's where you want the glue, and just throw some sand on, make it stick, and whatever's excess, put it back into your jar. And then you got a few sand spots, and then you could use this natural moss, which is from Ashlands as well. And I probably mentioned these guys in every of my videos. Maybe I should contact them, get a sponsor. Yeah, that'd be funny. I'm just gonna put some in the middle. I feel like it's empty in there, so I'm just gonna put some glue, get some of this dried up moss looking thing, and shove it in there. Now it's Amoco, so they probably do some kind of like, I don't know, toxic stuff that probably the grass wouldn't be very green around it, so that's why I'm using this like burnt out kind of moss, and just putting it in there. And what's cool about the school glue from Amazon is that you could just dump it on top of that, and it's gonna glue it, it's gonna stick it together just like this. Just throw some glue on it. It evaporates, it becomes transparent, you don't see it anymore, and it still keeps stuff in there all jumped up and glued. So that's pretty good, and it's cheap. I'm gonna add some of this nicer green. Maybe there's like some nice green little bushes here that are actually kind of growing and maybe got immune to their toxic waste, or maybe they changed and they're not doing toxic. Maybe they're doing something else for the Gaslandsers. Maybe they're producing some kind of Pepto-Dismol or something. I'm gonna go with some of these tires that I haven't used, and I'm gonna use them as terrain. So I'm just gonna, you could use a Sharpie if you want to make some of the tires black. Don't forget to eat. Ooh, what's this? My wife brings me snacks. And you could also use a metal Sharpie as well for the mags. It's easier than paint, I find, especially if it's not something like super important, it's just some terrain. And for these axles that are super hard to cut, just use the pliers that has the cutter, and that's gonna cut them out. And you got a few tires that you could decorate your piece of terrain with. Also, here's a tip: use the axle to clean out your glue. It's really good. It's like a small thin metal thing with a piece of plier. You could clean up the glue if ever it gets stuck. So there's a little tip for you. So I put some tires here on the side, I put the Amoco sign. I'm probably gonna dirty it up a bit. It's way too clean. So just with some black paint and some water on your brush, you could go ahead and dirty up the sign, kind of do some streaks, something like this. And because it's watery, it's not sticking too much to your terrain, but it's sticking to the logo, and it's making it dirty looking, so that's pretty good. And now for this piece, which came out nice as well, we're gonna go ahead and again do some blue and red to match the logo, because I got another sticker left on that sheet, so I'm gonna go with some silver before I do this. I want to do the pipe before I do the blue and the red. So I'm gonna just make the pipe silver, and maybe other parts silver. You could also dry brush the corners, the edges in silver. That's gonna give it a nice little like shine, make it look more metallic, make your piece pop under the light, if there's a light or spotlight or wherever you're playing, it's gonna shine and it's gonna give it a little bit of a metallic look instead of plastic. So just dry brush some silver a little bit everywhere, and I'm gonna do some on the top here. I did the antenna in silver, and because I have a bunch of silver left, I'm just gonna do the roof here a little bit. And you could see a little bit how the glue kind of expanded there. I'm gonna use the brown, and I'm gonna dry brush some brown as well. Maybe I'm gonna go all around the edges as well. You could do orange and brown, give it some more rust look to it, but just gonna give a few dabs and then like flick it upwards from the bottom. Just tap it, then flick. This is more of a muscle memory thing. Eventually your hand just does it. You don't even think about it. And I'm going to dry brush the top. And maybe put a bit of some brown spots on this thing, and dirty up the top here by flicking my brush again. And you'll see the finished product of this was really cool. I like it. It's one of my favorites actually, because we're gonna put some smoke out of there and everything. It's gonna be cool. But first, let's go back into some orange, and then just add a bit of orange on top of like areas that you put a lot of brown. So those are like the most rusted spots. So you want to add some orange there. Maybe some taps. You can even do it with a sponge if you want. I'm going to put some on the edge here. And you know, I did a bit of black as well. A little bit of black all around, make it really used and rusty and all damaged up. I'm going to use some mahogany paint on the doors. I like this paint because it really gives a look of wood. It gives like the wood grain look, and it really looks like a nice mahogany wood. So I'm gonna do the door and the spikes that color, and I'm gonna use the blue to start doing the blue and red little accents. So I'm probably gonna do every corner here, one line in blue and maybe the other line in red. So I might add maybe one in the middle of each wall, just to make it look even more like a corporation. And we're gonna go with the red here. Again, I'm just using red and blue to match the logo that I chose. So if you chose something else that have different colors, you could use different colors. if you have a sticker or something of a company. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna put this one on the roof there. But before I do that, let's paint whatever's coming out of those pipes, and I am gonna paint it pink. Let's go with that. Let's go with company changing their mind, and instead of producing whatever it was they were producing, they're now making Pepto-Bismol. Why not? And I'm just gonna put it wherever the glue was. So if you can see, the glue kind of made bubbles and kind of expanded a little bit, and it's hard with this purple pink thing to actually stick, so you're gonna have to probably put a few coats of that. Meanwhile, I'm gonna try to it broke. Obviously it broke. This is gonna be a tough one. Oh man, I can't even use my spoon. It's such a small little piece. I'm gonna have to like a puzzle and put pieces together. Oh, look at this. This is gonna be tough. But with patience and perseverance, I'll shove it back in the water, wet it a bit, and maybe try to get it. Oh, so the more I was trying, the more it was breaking, and look at that. It was like a jigsaw puzzle. So I'm gonna just use my spoon method, which keeps the logo intact as much as possible. Shove it there and slide it into place. And it's not bad. I mean, you know, it's an old building, right? So the logo probably got damaged a few times. That's fine. And now for the roof here, actually I'm planning on putting some grass or something. So let's just put some glue all over the ceiling, all over the roof. Gonna make this a bit more green, and I'm gonna use the back of my brush to just shove some glue a little bit everywhere. And I'm gonna use the Citadel grass, which I am sharing with my buddy James, because I don't need all this grass. It's way too much, and it's like 5 years we have it, and no matter how much I use of it, I always have half the container full for some reason. But yeah, so let's put some grass there. Some of it went on the pink stuff, but with a brush you could clean it off, and whatever's left over I'm just gonna dump back in there. This is torture to the eyes of professionals, because I'm putting some glue back in there and dirt and a bunch of other stuff, but I don't really care about that. And you know, this moss I'm going to use to decorate the whole bottom part here. So put some glue, and you could use your paintbrush to like really stick it in there, and whatever's left over just pick it up and throw it on there, and then pass some glue all over it. Again, this glue is going to dry and evaporate, so you won't really see it. And yeah, so just use your brush to make sure that it sticks in there, but do that before putting the glue. This is before I put the glue. I'm just showing you without fast forwarding what you can do, and then just shove the glue on top like that. If you do buy this moss, it's really useful. And you could also use tattoos. I have in the past in my other videos to decorate, to put some graffiti or whatever. So maybe I'll use these stars here and decorate that chimney with a few stars. Oh no, my finger went on the Amoco sign. Look at that. I made a mess. It's okay. So that's what the graffiti looks like. A few stars over there, and you know, take out the excess. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna put a few little bushes here growing on the side, and the destroyed Amoco sign, Amoco, whatever it is, looks okay. And with a Sharpie, always sign your project, because these are pieces of art, guys. You make a piece of art, you should sign it. And I know everybody thinks about cotton balls when it comes to making smoke, right? Like you're like, oh, I wish I could make some smoke with cotton balls. And then you try and it falls apart. And I'm going to show you 2 methods that don't work. Well, they work. I mean, whatever. It's cool. But so what you want to do is take some black and put a bit of black all over your cotton ball, and as you're painting it, it kind of like opens up, and then it doesn't, and then you want to like maybe burn it between your hands like that, and then just shove it in the hole. Kind of looks like smoke, kind of. Maybe you want to try to open it a little bit, giving it that like smoke look, maybe, you know, something maybe like that. But let's try a real method, another method that might work. For that, you're gonna need like fire colors if you want to make like a fire look. So we're gonna go with red, orange, and yellow. And what I'm gonna do is put some yellow on the tip over here of the cotton ball. It's really hard to paint the cotton ball, but you'll manage. And then you want to put like a line of orange around the edge of where you painted the yellow. So then you want to use some red on the edge of the orange. So you want to make like a gradient from yellow to red, and maybe some black on the tip. Some black and white on the tip, and then you could dry brush some black a little bit everywhere. So that's kind of giving it like a fiery smoke. And maybe, I don't know, let's try that hand thing again, whatever this is called. And we have something that kind of looks like a flame. Let's just try opening it up maybe a little bit. See what happens if we open it up. That looks like it's kind of something resembling fire and smoke. Maybe reshape it a little bit, and I'm gonna try to put it in there. So let's put a bit more black over here. It's like it's not enough black. It's too cartoony with the colors are bright and everything. That looks pretty interesting. Maybe just twirl the yellow part a little bit. Try to roll it. There's all kinds of weird things that you can do with a cotton ball. It's really hard. I'm gonna just twirl this and put that in the chimney. See how that works. It kind of looks like something coming out of that, like a flame or something, flame and smoke. However, the yellow kind of went into the hole there, so I'm gonna repaint a bit of yellow. You could just touch it up and repaint it as you go once it's in position of your exhaust. That's what I was looking for. This whole video I was looking for the word exhaust. So yeah, once you put the smoke coming out of this huge exhaust pipe. Or is exhaust only used for cars? Like what is a pipe that's on top of a building that's like spewing flames? You know, you see them on like gas refineries. Are those exhausts? Are they chimneys? I don't what's the real word for that? Anyways, so yeah, that looks pretty cool. Kind of like it, like a fireball coming out of there. I don't know what it takes to make Pepto-Dismol, but yeah, don't forget to sign your artwork. I don't know why that clip is there again. I keep doubling clips in my videos. I don't understand, but it is what it is. And these are the 2 final products. Not bad, pretty cool. What was that? No idea, and I don't feel like re-editing, so I'll just leave it in there. But yeah, these are the 2 final products. Pretty cool. And if you're looking for dice, maybe some templates or like gates, engines that you could put on your car, pipes and stuff, like guns, rams, anything you want to model your car. We sell containers, Gaslands containers full of this stuff. We even have smoke effects, which are 10 times easier and better to use than cotton balls. Also, come to our Facebook page, Gaslands TV. It's a really great community. And if you want, check out this other video where I actually use the flame effects from my Etsy for a monster truck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.